Are you currently failing at working Dave Ramsey's baby step plan to paying off your consumer and student loan debt? If so, this video is for you, because I personally have failed several times while working Dave Ramsey's plan, but I still managed to pay off over $50,000 in consumer and student loan debt. So I'm going to tell you how. My name's Tisha. I'm the blogger behind joyfulbudgeter.com, and I'm just a mom on a budget trying to make the most of what I have. So I like to come on here and share a few tips with you and share my debt-free story with you in hopes to inspire you and give you a little nudge if you need one, just to keep going and get that debt paid off. So the reason why I say I failed is because it took us over 5 years to pay off our debt. Now, if you follow Dave Ramsey and you watch his show or you've attended Financial Peace University, you know that the average person working his plan pays off their debt in only 2 years. And if you've been a member of the debt-free community or watching the hashtags on Instagram or Facebook, you see all the time people paying their debt off in 10 months, 11 months, 5 months. Now, your income and the size of your debt both have a part in how fast you can do that. But I must say, being gazelle intense also does have a big part in that. It took us 5 years, and that's way longer than what Dave Ramsey would recommend it would take you. What he recommends is that you make your numbers work. So if you calculate how long it's going to take you, and it's looking like it's going to take you 6 years, 7 years, or something ridiculous, he recommends that you get a bigger shovel, which basically means increase your income to dig yourself out of the hole. So for us, that was a goal of ours. We started many different projects to try to increase our income, but nothing seemed to stick. And I think this is where being gazelle intense comes in. Dave Ramsey recommends selling pizzas or selling all your furniture or doing this and doing that. And for us, we didn't have a lot of things that we could sell. We did, in that time frame, have a yard sale, and we made like $140, which I was shocked at, and that went towards the debt. But we didn't have a house to sell, to downsize. We didn't have fancy cars that we could take back in and sell. It was mostly student loan debt, so we had to figure out how to pay that off with the income that we were making. I also had 2 more babies during that time frame, and each time I had a baby, I took the full maternity leave. And what Dave Ramsey recommends, which makes total sense, and we did, is you stop your baby steps the moment you find out you're pregnant, and you pile up cash. And this is because you want to protect yourself from going further in debt should something happen where you need to pay a little bit more than you're anticipating for the delivery. So that's like in NICU or extended stay in the hospital, just anything. Maybe you might need to stop work halfway through your pregnancy. So, you're saving up money as soon as you can, fast as you can, so that if that were to happen, then you would have money to support you and your family during that time, or whatever the case may be. You just never know. So here we are. We just had a baby. 2 years later, we had another baby. 2 years after that, we had another one. So it was like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. And we did pick up momentum as we continued to work the plan. And my number one tip for that would be take Financial Peace University. The information in that course is grand. When I took it, even though I didn't finish it, the kit came with the CDs, and it came with the workbook, and it obviously came with the in-person class. So even though I didn't finish the class, I was able to listen to those CDs over and over and over again. I remember taking road trips, and we would listen to those CDs. I remember also connecting with a podcast, and I would listen to that podcast every single day at work just to keep myself motivated. Take the course, stay connected with the podcast, because that does help you get that gazelle intensity. Get gazelle intense. So back to what I was saying before, we would get gazelle intense, and then we would kind of fall off because, we'd have to pause and build up cash, for the pregnancy. And thankfully everything went well. And then what would happen is I would take that maternity leave. I took the full 3 months each time. So then because I wouldn't be earning income during that time, still, sometimes I had to dip into that money, which ideally, you would live off that other income or whatever income you had. Like, you wouldn't dip into that money, because ideally what happens is that money gets poured directly towards the debt as soon as you can press play again. So some of it did at times. Other times we ate into a little bit and used it just for living expenses while I was on maternity leave, which is fine too. I don't really consider that a failure, but that's just life, and life happens. You know, sometimes it's the vehicle you have dies and you need to replace the vehicle, and that happened to us several times as well. But failing on Dave Ramsey's plan does not mean that you don't get out of debt. For me, we were able to pay off the debt in 2018 and be completely debt free. Yay! But it took us a long time. So if that's you, if you find that you have been working Dave Ramsey's plan forever and you are still in debt, I would encourage you to take a deep dive inward and look and see if you are truly gazelle intense, if you are truly trying to stay connected and motivated to your goal, and if you have a picture of what life is going to be like for you afterwards. That's another great way to stay motivated and to keep going. I'm reminded of the story of the tortoise and the hare, and again, if you watch Dave Ramsey, you've heard him mention this over and over and over. But in that story, it's not being quick and finishing quick, it's finishing, and it's actually the tortoise, the slow one, that actually wins the race, because they don't give up. It keeps going. And if you find that you are just done with trying to pay off debt, it's just overwhelming and it's just not happening, I want to encourage you, because that was me back in 2013 and 2014. I want to encourage you and say to you that you can do it. You can get out of debt. What it takes is this one thing. Are you ready for it? Don't give up. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep planning ahead. Keep getting back on track. If you have to press pause because of life, if you have to reset yourself because you just are out of control with your spending, it's okay. We all make mistakes, and none of us work this plan perfectly. The point of it is just to keep going, keep trying. So I hope this encourages you. The first tip, create a projection. A projection is going to be what shows you how long it takes you to get out of debt. Basically, with a projection, you're going to use your income and the amount of debt you owe and the amount of money your budget says you can put per month towards your debt. You're going to use all that information to get an estimation of how long it should take you to pay off your debt. Then you're going to see if you can do a little bit of tweaking, do a little bit of reducing of some expenses, and see, I would say that would be your gazelle intense step, and see how you can bring that down just a little bit more. See what that number is. If it's 24 months or less, then you're right on track to paying off your debt. If it's longer, this is where you should consider adding in a extra side hustle, or maybe going for a higher paying job, doing something to move that needle just a little bit faster. Tip number 2, I would say, is to still enjoy life. Now, if you are like me and you are a spender, it might be hard for you to cut all these things that you love so much out of your budget. You might know that you need to and you might want to, but actually sitting down and just cutting out going out to eat, hanging out with friends, going to the movies, getting rid of Netflix, doing that all at once might really discourage you. So I would encourage you to figure out a way that you can still enjoy your life. It doesn't have to be spending money, but if you are a spender like me and you enjoy a little bit of retail therapy, I want you to check out the video in the description. I talk about how, as a spender, I have found ways to stop spending money on things I don't need, but still have a little bit of fun and enjoy life. So I would encourage you to do that, because you still want to feel like you're living a little bit. I mean, granted, it's not going to be your best life, your best time, because you are limiting yourself for the greater good, for the bigger goal, but you still can enjoy life. I would encourage you to find ways to spend time with your friends without spending money, or other fun things that you can do that would be free. My final tip would be to pray. Pray, pray, pray. You need help in this journey, and it's amazing how God is there to help you and push you forward on this journey. You'll be surprised at how many financial blessings will come your way as you're being a good steward and doing the right thing with your money. Definitely, prayer helps you to continue to believe that it's possible versus like Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ. Like, keep yourself motivated and in touch with the fact that God is there with you and He can help you. Well, folks, we've come to the end of my video. If you found any encouragement or value in this video, hit the like button. If you're a mom and you enjoy learning about new ways to budget, find deals, live frugally, or live debt-free, you can hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you on the journey with us. Also, click the link in the description to read the blog post I have. I share a few more tips on how to be debt-free and a few more details on my story as far as how I became debt-free. So, thanks for watching. Bye.